So we're about to get a bus from Hanoi in Laos. The bus told us to get there 2 hours early, which we thought was excessive. So we left it to get there an hour early, but the traffic is really bad, which is probably why they tell you to get there early. Apparently it's a very big bus depot, so it's going to be very tight. So hopefully we get on this bus. And then the next step is to actually get to the border. Let's see. Well, that was a complete failure of a mission. We are absolutely not crossing the border into Laos tonight. We were running a little bit late to get to our bus, but we were still kind of on time for it. Most of the buses that we've gotten so far haven't been at like a terminal. They've just been outside of like a shop, and they kind of say to get there half an hour earlier, and you do, but the buses are always running late and that kind of thing. This one said to get there 2 hours earlier, and we were like, oh, it'll be fine if we get there an hour earlier. Then the traffic hit, and so we got there 10 minutes before, and we had to check in and get a ticket at a counter for our bus. So when we got there, it was doable. So there was a person that we met from the Laos embassy yesterday when we were applying for our visas, and she was going to get on the same bus as us. And she had got there a little bit earlier than us and was talking to this lady at the ticket counter. And the lady at the ticket counter was basically translating to us, saying that she was going to give her ticket, but that we got there too late and the switchboard was closed, so she wasn't able to call and write us up our ticket, which sounds like a translation for like, too bad, I'm not bothered, because there were so many other people going through that I don't know what this whole switchboard thing was. I think it was us being tourists, because she was also saying to us like, oh, the bus has already left, your bus has left, and we were like, no, we're on the same bus as her. Anyway, then we got to the security guard, and they did let us through to go chat to the bus. And then we went to the bus and we were talking to the driver and showing them our ticket, and basically it all came back to this one lady who had authority on whether or not we were able to actually get on the bus or not. And she basically just was in such a mood and didn't want to write us up our tickets to get onto the bus. And the bus was sitting there for so long, and we were at the bus for so long. So it was just such a stitch up. It was just basically like nobody wanted to help us. But the thing is, our visa for Vietnam runs out tomorrow. So if we don't leave the country by tomorrow, minimum we could have a fine, maximum you can have like a sentence and be blacklisted from the country. So we kept trying to explain that as well, that like we have to leave the country by tomorrow, but it didn't really get us that far. So in the end we went back and we went on our phones for a bit, and we've researched some plane tickets instead to go to Bangkok. So we're gonna fly to Thailand instead, because the flights from Hanoi to Laos were way too expensive for us to buy last minute flights, but because it's more of a main route from Hanoi to Bangkok, they're cheaper. So yeah, we're going to fly to Thailand tomorrow and fly to Bangkok, which is a bit of an itinerary mix-up. I think when you're traveling, it's really important to be flexible in terms of plans, because so many different things happen. You know, like sometimes buses are late, sometimes you miss buses, sometimes things happen. And I think in these situations, it can be really easy to get stressed out and worry, especially with visas and that kind of thing and border control. But if you manage to stay calm and not worry and know that there is an alternative and that like things just happen, it can make traveling a lot easier. I think you pretty much have to plan for the unplannable, because something always goes wrong when you're traveling, and you just have to expect that. And when it comes up, if you can deal with it, that's a very big win, and it makes it an adventure anyway, and it makes it kind of all part of the fun and a story to tell, because really these stitch up situations end up being the stories that you tell the most. I was going to film the whole border crossing and everything today, but I don't have the border crossing to film. Now we're just going back to a hostel in the city and we're going to book a flight for tomorrow. It's really late, so I don't have that much to film for today apart from telling you this story. And I guess that's also like, I have to be flexible with these films, because if I'm filming myself traveling every day and I expect that one video is going to be something like this can happen in the middle of the day, and instead of filming a border crossing and a bus journey, instead I just have to make a 6-minute video of talking about my day, because things happen. So it's kind of nice that this vlog can reflect that. So while I've been looking all lit up, I'm in the back of a taxi right now, and my light source is Louis. Who's being an absolute gem, lighting me up for this shot. I think I'll put the camera down now and I'll pick it back up when we get out and go to the hostel.